It's windy today, but second time around, came back to this area because I knew it was going to start really going off, and sure enough, look at it, it's so gorgeous. It's like really windy during the spring. That probably helps carry all the pollen and the little seeds. Today, what we're doing is I've got the mini cooker out. I got a pound of meat, since that's mostly my diet at this point. I'm trying to only eat meat. And this, she said this was Black Angus grass-fed. I was super excited about. And I'll show you kind of how I've been cooking it up here, how I put it in here, half a cup at a time, or if you will, half a pound at a time. And let's make some beef out here. I did have to get the extension cord out that I use to charge if I ever have to, and I can't charge on my solar. I use this to charge off of shore power, and I can charge my anchor in an hour and a half. I'm using the same cord I used to do that because this cord on the mini is it's super short. So it doesn't need this kind of cord. Let's get cooking. I have decided we're gonna make some more tea too. So I'll probably do that before I do the meat. Quick note, I do have this metal lid, and I've been putting this on metal aluminum when I use it because it gets super, super hot. Via what I've said before, I need to grab a little napkin or something and use that on the handle, because especially when you're cooking the meat, the handle gets really hot despite the fact that it's plastic. Full thing, and we're gonna do that almost twice. I'm going to leave my other tea bag in there, and I'm just going to add this one. I usually don't bring this to a full boil. I'm really confident in where I'm getting the water. So at a water station, and it says drinkable, but if you want to, this goes to a boil. There, now you can see more of the background. So our dinner tonight officially is costing us $6.23 for like a little more than a pound of beef, and that will fill me very well. That will do the job. Oh, that's what I was going to grab. I forgot. I was going to grab the, paper towel. Okay, we're not too hot yet. Oh yeah, this is warm enough for tea for sure. And then we'll finish up, see how much we have in our cup. Actually, that looks like it's going to do it. I had a little bit of cool stuff left. Also want to note that you do have to keep everything away from the base of this thing. It gets really hot. I love it. They did it like in the old days, because this is like she said, it's a meat market, a fresh meat market. I love it. Okay, so giving ourselves a little more room. Here is our fresh meat. We got a little bit more than a pound. And what I do is I'm going to take half of this, and we are going to plop it right in there. You can hear it already sizzle, sizzle, because we already had it warmed up from our water, which wasn't necessary. It just works really quickly and really fast. And then what I do is I put the lid back on. This isn't too lean, so I kind of like it, like super fatty. And then, gotta get my lid all dirty. Here we go, and let's let that cook. Easy peasy. Oh, it's so windy. We're just waiting on it here. It's going. I'm on the back deck. So we're on the back porch. On the back porch. Flip it over here a little bit. Even though it seems to cook it all the way through anyway, just leaving the lid on, I'm just going to I like it to be a little bit looser when it falls out into my thing, or it tries to fall out in one big, huge meat patty. We'll know if I am doing this right and really well. We get little coyotes coming out of the woodwork. Okay, sure. First panic and then pull my phone out for you. We'll see if they can smell this. Okay, I think the second batch is ready to flip into my container, and then what I do is I stick the whole second batch in. I've got my little artist supplies poking on me, but yeah, I'm kind of glad that I have, this idea to like how I normally share my art videos and everything, to share this Nomadic, and I definitely do need something much larger to live out of if I'm going to go ahead and do this, land at the price that I want. So I think we're going to go this route. We'll see. Either way. Okay, so while it's cooking here, I'm going to go ahead and flip it out here. I don't know if I can do this while I'm holding the camera, but I don't have if I bring out the stand, the good possibility the wind is going to blow it over, so we're going to do it this way. Oh yeah, that's way more done than I needed it to be. Here, so I just use the right hand. Try to capture this and not spill at the same time. See how it makes kind of a patty, so the whole thing's going to want to come out at once, but I'll just use the spoon and get it out individually. Here we go, second batch. There's the one that's cooked up, and in it, just also if it gets a certain amount of hot or everything, I notice it does turn off when it believes that it's done cooking, but I don't ever take it that far. I do this, and then I unplug everything myself because it is hot potatoes. As you can tell, our second batch is cooking there. Left in this, I have noticed that this is so thick, this cool little soup pot like this. If I were to cover this in weight, it actually continues cooking. I'm going to do, because that's so much meat, is I actually eat this down a little bit and then I load more hot meat on top of it. We're going to be adding a little bit of our sea salt here, the light and crunchy. Light and crunchy. Oh, that piece is too big. You could probably add like spices or other things you like, but I try to eat my meat with just salt. Everything you cook. I mean, I don't usually even take this to the full. I usually unplug it. The other day I did try, so if I have time before I go back, I'll do it again. And I shouldn't say try. It actually successfully worked really well. And only because I wanted to see if I could do it with this mini cooker. Like I said, I'm mostly just trying to stay with meat. I did have, and I actually do have a can left. I have a can of clam chowder, the white clam chowder, and I have noodles. And I kind of want to test the noodles. I want to test everything on here. What I did is I did them both, and then I mixed them together. I just put a little bit of noodles, soaked them in there a little bit, and then boiled it a little. And even when they weren't completely, I went ahead and put the noodles in this and with the lid on and let them continue to cook with just a little bit of water in it while I cooked up the clam chowder, which had to be half and half, right? Always leave a comment below what you'd like to see, me do, like just with a solar system and nothing pretty much else. It doesn't matter, just say hi. Say hello, and don't forget to follow and subscribe if you haven't already. Right now we're out on an adventure. I will be going back to Nevada briefly. I'm not exactly sure, but I need my other art supplies too. Yeah, we need a bigger rig, guys. I love my element. If I didn't want to do the sculptures and the other 3D larger work, I would definitely be traveling in the element. It's just amazing on gas mileage, and I love it. The setup that I have here, just because I have this in here and stuff. Oh, here's pickles. And yeah, so it's really worked really great. I wish I did have room for the fridge freezer, which we did last time, and you'll see those videos, I think. But with the fridge freezer, I wasn't able to take as much. I need a little bit more room, just a little. It's cooked as far as I need it to. It's my little napkin. So we're gonna, and I did cook it with the lid on. Remember to cook it with the lid on so you don't get the grease splash everywhere. And normally I can even do this in the car, but I am extra, ultra careful because you don't, obviously you don't want to spill a bunch of hot grease in your car. So luckily we have not done that. And I know that meat was going to want to plop out, so I do need to have my other hand. Just need a little bit more of our salt on the fresh meat. Adding it just onto the other meat. For joining me for dinner in the element, this is the first time I cooked on the back camper. Okay, on the back part. I usually do it inside very, very carefully, and I make sure it's unplugged, and I make sure not to touch anything until I can touch it with my hand. The other thing that I do, which might be very, very helpful if you ever decide to go camping and just want one of the little minis, is, and remember this mini does, you can do pancakes, you can do eggs, is I take paper towels and I wipe up the grease. I don't have to do dishes, so I wipe it all up. Even I wash everything up with a dry paper towel. I have a red container in here. It's a Folgers container. I normally have the lid, but I had to use the lid for this. I don't know if you can see this, but my back thing came off my car, so nice and fresh. Is where the lid went, but let's imagine the lid is still on my container, and you take the paper towels that have all the grease on it and put them in the Folgers containers and put the lid on and keep them that way. So when it isn't so windy and you want to have a little campfire, you have little greased rags ready to light up and start your campfire. Just a thought, waste not, want not. Yeah. Got some mountains back there in the background. It's just so bloody peaceful. And it's not too hot down here yet, but it is time that I'll start heading up north. But again, gotta stop off in Vegas, so. What? You thought you only had to stick around for the fun cooking part? No, baby, we're doing dishes. So this is, you guessed it. I don't know if I can even say that out loud. I mean, not sure, I don't want to issues. So yeah, this one happens to be the Royale, but I just got the cheapest one that I could. This was actually recommended at the RTR, and I love the suggestion. So you're probably wondering, well, if you've washed your dishes with the paper towels, how do you get all the grease out? Well, this breaks up grease. This basically is vodka, and no, I don't drink it. I actually wash my dishes with it. And yes, because it does have the alcohol content, it will also help start your campfires. So this on top of some good hard, I would have to wash these dishes with me, but I need that hand that's holding the camera. So, but just so you know, this is what I was talking about with dish cleaners. Yes, you can use it for the napkins then as fire starter and campfire starter, because it's got a little dried vodka in it, as well as your grease. Oh, waste of water required. I think everyone should wash dishes this way. I literally have to sit on my napkins because it's so windy here. It's gonna make, and this again, I made sure this is cooled down, and you can see already it just cuts through the grease. I hope you saw my Biosphere 2 video, and that should be listed and should be done up before this one. And meanwhile, I'm just gonna finish our little wash up here of our dishes. I think we're gonna have to take a stroll, which means I gotta put my boots on, because of baby rattlesnakes and stuff. Not these shoes. I gotta go put my little boots on. And maybe we'll take a walk. If we do, that will be in another video.